Loading snacks.
What it do, Snackers, Snackettes, and Snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Sin. I'm here with Jokes, and it's time for another episode of Spoiler Boys.
Spoiler Boys.
Listen, we're going in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode 2. Super duper, super short episode.
Yes. Yeah.
I was a little disappointed at the speed with which this episode went by. When this episode ended, I was like, that's it? Guaranteed there's another after credit. It was. Let's do the rundown. Episode 2. Before we have our discussion, how do we feel? Where do we rank it? What's our grade? Sin, start with you.
I enjoyed it just as much as I did the first episode. Yes, I was equally as upset at the length of it. Overall, though, I did enjoy myself just as much as the first episode.
If somebody is like unfortunate enough to not have actually seen the first episode of Spoiler Boys and they don't know how you rated the first episode, how do you rate this episode?
An 8.
Jokes?
I'm good with an 8 as well too. A little short, but we got some good stuff and some nice little gems within the episode. So I was like, okay, but it was a little short for my taste though.
I feel the same way. I'm about the same place the two of you are as far as like a rating or grade goes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I'm at. What I want to know is what it would have taken for this episode to have been a 10. Is it because it didn't meet your expectations? Is it because it wasn't as funny as it should have been? Is it because it didn't have as much action as it should have been? Is it because it didn't have the information? Like, this is not just for us, this is for everybody, right? But it's kind of like, when we make that kind of decision, I think a lot of times what we don't do is we don't look at what we feel like is missing. Mm-hmm. So like, why is it, do we start at a 0 and rate it up as we watch it? Or are we starting at a 10 and knocking points off as things go by? No. Right? So everybody, the way people grade and make those decisions is different. And maybe we don't need to figure it out exactly right this moment. Maybe it'll be something that comes to us as we discuss the episode. Mm-hmm. But I just kind of want you to keep that in mind because I want to come back to that. I want to come back to, because the truth is, I don't know. Like, I don't know for myself what the difference is right now between an 8 and a 10, right? Or what it would have taken to make it a 10. But that's kind of the discussion I think I want to have, right?
Gotcha.
Is where we need to go in order to get it all the way up. Not that 8 is bad. Like, 8's not bad. I'm not.
Yeah, not bad at all.
So let's talk about some of the structure, the character, where we are right now. We open up and it's being broadcast all over the news. This, Jennifer Walters transformed into a Hulk or something, and people are saying she's a hero. She saved all these jurors. We also do find out what was going on with Titania, that they had, brought her in for something and she was trying to
traffic stop. Yeah, traffic.
I was like,
what? Like I said, she tried to escape.
I mean, listen. I guess there are places where if you have a moving violation or something, they just bring you into the courthouse, but dog.
Apparently, right.
Hey, that's some quick works right there. Like, hold on, there's something.
She got one of them
right now.
Tickets in the mail joints for like speeding down, you know what I mean, or whatever, and like showed up in court. Yeah, like camera lying. So like in terms of like how the public seems to feel about She-Hulk, all seems to be on the up and up. She's walking in and with a homegirl to the bar, and it's like, man, that joke, She-Hulk, She-Hulk. that ain't me. I don't know who they chanting for. That ain't for me. Nah, but that's you.
That's you.
That better not stick.
Sorry.
It's gonna stick. I'm sorry.
My friend, like, come on, man, get the people what they want. Get green right now. She walked in the door. People like, yeah. So I want to talk about this a little bit before we get into what happens when she's in the bar or whatever, right? I want to get some feedback from you guys on why do you feel like the public perception is so different for her than it is for Bruce?
I think just for her right now, it was the fact that, even though Hulk appeared, she did save folks on her first go around versus Bruce kind of like just leveled everything. So I think that set a little bit of a tone for people to at least see where she was at. Now, had she had, maybe saved the jurors and then went on that rampage afterwards because she didn't have control or something like that, then I think maybe she would have been in that same boat. But I think because she saved them and didn't go run amok, I think that's probably why she's a little bit in the good graces right now.
I can agree with that. She didn't Hulk out when she appeared. She went instantly back once it was all calmed down to herself and continued on with the case. And the fact that she's pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, She-Hulk is attractive. You know what I mean? So I think both of those.
You don't think Hulk's attractive? Like, no. When I say that, I mean, not like that. Right? You don't, like, I mean.
He's not a Hulk person. He's a Bruce Banner
Black Widow
person.
was on. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was on.
Yes.
What's up? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be about it. What's up?
Do you think?
I do think it's interesting, and they talk about it in this, and I actually meant to bring this up in the last episode, but one of the things that stood out to me about her transformation is that her hair even gets, like, she gets straight.
Yeah, straight. And it has some green highlights in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. With the brush, you know what I mean? And it's like she changes back and she goes back, and that's supposed to be what Bruce's fuzzball reference is a reference to.
Her hair is. That's why her aunt or whatever had the little comment when it was at the table. Okay.
She got the little fresh, curly, frizzy.
Yeah, we could do your hair like She-Hulk's. Okay.
Right. Which is very interesting to me that's a part of her transformation for some reason. I thought about it for a little while. I mean, I think part of what's happening, being both right, she saved people and she kind of went right back to having control and like, okay, let's go on with this case. But I also think that her coming out has happened at a time when we have Eternals and aliens, and we know about the Hulk, and we know, you know what I mean? Like, we live in a world where superheroes.
It's just another superhero showing up. Like, oh, we got another one.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, she didn't rampage, but the general public is more used to it. And though obviously they know that there are people who could be criminals, otherwise there wouldn't be a need for a superhero law division or, so on and so forth. I think the public perception is just that the public's in a different place. Hulk is really the first of the superpowered individuals, period, as far as the MCU is concerned. And that the public is aware of. Steve would technically be first, but nobody would really know, so to speak.
Normal.
A lot of people probably wouldn't remember because it was so long ago.
Well, I mean, I don't know that people like the exploits of Captain America seem fanciful enough that they seem made up, right? That like because what Captain America was when they quote unquote created him was this touring kind of a U.S. host and dancing, whatever. So then when you hear about the exploits of Captain America during World War I, doing blah, blah, blah.
You think it's propaganda?
This is propaganda. This is stuff that's in comic books. It didn't really happen that way. That's not really a thing until he comes back out of the ice and then you realize, oh, snap, whatever.
He really was about all that, yeah.
Right.
Where Hulk was running around rampaging, for years and the public saw that happening.
Being chased. But, you know what I mean? But, yes. So yeah, I mean, if you think back to Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, that technically is the first appearance of the Hulk within the MCU. That's what people knew the Hulk as, knew the Hulk from. Even he is afraid of the Hulk and what the Hulk can do, and whatever. So I think she just happens to be coming out at a time when we've already had a Thanos.
Yeah.
Like, what can get any worse than the Thanos at this point?
Yeah. Like aliens over New York City, like.
No, they just walk down the street. New Yorkers look up. Hey, spaceship. Let's go get some hot dogs.
Maybe, maybe. I think they go get shawarma, but yeah. But yeah. So yeah. So she walks in and people are cheering for her. And, you know, they giving her free drinks. And, you know, the best friend is like, hey, we get drinks. She's icing it. She's in love with it. Like, and her boss walks in. And it's like, can I get regular gin though? Can I get like gin though? Can you bring it down? She's like, oh, sure. Immediately drunk.
That's what I loved about that scene.
Yeah.
The fact of how quick it hit her.
Like, metabolism. Like, can't burn it off this fast.
No, that was like instant when she shrunk like that.
She was at least able to explain it. It's a part of me that feels like he didn't want to talk to She-Hulk because he's scared of She-Hulk.
Probably. Understandably so.
Maybe so, bro. My man fired her because they lost the case. And she won the case, technically.
I know that.
But she lost the case. On a technicality. So we know she's good at her job. What she said she was gonna do. All right, now that y'all are caught up on this whole She-Hulk thing, I don't have to Hulk. I'm about to go win this case. Yeah, and she does. Doesn't go the way she wants it to. You know, she loses her job and she goes back and she's trying to find work and nobody will hire her.
Nobody will pick her up.
Right? They like, yeah, we can't afford to have that kind of liability. We can't afford to lose cases because people think A, B, and C. We can't deal with that scrutiny and publicity. This ain't gonna work. Like, we can't do this. And we see her sitting on the couch with the bestie, trying to find work. Lo and behold, what's in the corner? On that same page where she's scrolling to find jobs, man with metal claws starts a fight in the bar.
Ha ha!
What happened?
Wolverine apparently cut the hell out of somebody, probably.
Somebody's being on brand.
Somebody got Wolverine. Also, right below that,
another thing that we actually brought up.
Why is there a man frozen, a giant statue frozen in the ocean?
I had to applaud that one. I was like, even though, you know, the Wolverine thing was cool, that one I was like, thank you.
Being finally acknowledged. That joint exists. Which really is kind of like an Easter egg nod to people like us and like, hey, bro, how come nobody in New Jersey during all of Kamala Khan's exploits was like, yo, there's a giant statue stuck in the ocean? At least they asking the same questions we are. Right? For a short episode, there's a lot that happens. Right? We pretty literally just admitted that Wolverine exists in the MCU. That's what it is. We've acknowledged the Eternals and what's going on with that right here with like a 3-second shot, right? That if you're not paying attention to, you won't know is even there, but it's there. And it's one of those things that is clearly, it's so off to the side that it helps you come to the realization that this is part of every day for these people who live in a world where these kinds of things happen. So sure, a lawyer turns green and, you know, one hitter quitters the other giant woman who happens to be in the room. and then goes back to lawyering because that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as she's down and out, there's a conversation with the person who she won her case against. Runs up on her in the bar. Bartender's like, Jane, you want another one? Nah, this ain't that kind of metabolism. Like, I'm just not, I can't afford that no more. Like, I'm not, this ain't it. My man wasn't about to be like, this one's on the house. Not this time. My man walks in and says, look, I want you to work for me. She like, bet, I'm in.
I'm in. I don't care what it is.
I'm in. Didn't ask no questions. I'm in. I got work to do. Got 6 figures in loan I gotta take care of.
Yep. Real shit.
I said, oof, that sounds bad. Like, you supposed to ask questions, but I understand.
Right.
Went to work on the first day. Like, yeah, but I don't really want you.
I need a She-Hulk.
I want the other you.
Oh.
Go ahead, let me get the other you.
You couldn't have told me that before I wore this outfit, bro.
About a whole new wardrobe.
She didn't ask that because he tried to give her the lowdown. You don't even want to know. Nah, I'll take it. I'm in there. Oh, okay. Cool. Here's the thing, man. I kind of like him. He's just straightforward. It is what it is. Here's the business. This is what we doing. Here we go. Here's your office. Man, look at this office.
Look at that desk.
This joint ain't no joke. My man came in with the directions on where to go poop.
Take a nice poop.
Hey, when he walked in, jokes, I said he did it. I don't care what happened.
No, that was the first thing I said.
I was like, he did it. I do not trust Adrian Chase whatsoever.
Nope. Prometheus, I was like, oh, he's a bad guy. He's a
No matter what show I see you in, I don't trust you, Slim.
Come on, man. He good.
I don't believe it to the soul.
He gave the best place to go poop. I mean, that's a good guy right there.
Credit to
the basket. In the basket. You know what I'm saying?
Till it's over.
She's kind of wrestling with the idea of having to be She-Hulk in order to have a job. So now, sure, what she's learned in school and what she's good at and what she racked up, that's still what she's doing. But they want her to do it in the way she doesn't want to be seen as, right? The thing that she would rather hide and not have to deal with. The things she doesn't want to embrace. Before that happened, we need to go back and talk a little bit about what dinner at her folks' house was like.
Entertaining.
My man said, I just got ordered the supervisor at Best Buy.
I was like,
I was dying.
I died laughing.
My man said, listen, already prepped everybody. Nobody gonna say nothing about the Hulk. It's good. We just gonna eat. No hats, bro.
She barely walked in the room before they started firing off.
They just let her have it.
Rapid fire.
When he was asking about Hawkeye, I was dying laughing.
Dog, yes.
Pick up the arrows. What's he do?
Is that how does that work? Like, it seems like occupational hazard type of thing.
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
This guy, I gave him your number. Teach about being a superhero. She's just sitting like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
I do not want to be here right now.
Oh, she really didn't want to be there anyway.
Yeah, because she already knew going in what it was gonna be like.
But what's crazy is when her father was like, let me holler at you. You know what I'm saying, out here. I honestly really thought when they walked into the garage, he was gonna be like, can you lift this?
I did too.
I really thought that's what it was gonna be. Which gave me some serious satisfaction at the end.
Yeah.
During the after credits, like, I knew it.
I knew it was coming. He just held off. He was like, I gotta make sure you actually okay.
In that moment, though, I appreciated the for real, baby. Like,
I really did.
Are you good? Like, you're okay? Yeah. Like, talking about it. And just let her even though he was trying to chime in and help, but like, just
let her just run with it
and get it off. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I really did appreciate that moment of like, nah, she still has a family, and the family has to deal with it. And even him saying, like, you're not even the first Hulk in the family. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, we kind of used to it, even if we're not really used to it.
We've dealt with this before, so we know kind of how to help,
Right.
with this situation. Yeah.
Right. So she goes in, gets her first assignment. She got to go holler at the homie Blonsky. Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination.
She was like, I cannot do this. There's a conflict of interest here.
He tried to kill my cousin.
My man said, yeah, that's fine.
I don't care. It's all good.
We already had him sign these papers saying that he was okay with it.
I was like,
Hey,
it's too easy.
my man really trying to get out. She said, I gotta think about it. All right, you got a day. Figure it out. Hollis Bruce. Yeah, she did go talk to him. How do you think that went?
Better than I expected.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna like. Yeah,
He's a lot more chill. He's a lot more laid back, it seems. Like after all this time being, locked up. He's got 7 pen pal women, soulmates he's looking to connect with when he gets out. He writes haikus to the people he's hurt.
Were they women? Soulmates? I
don't know they were specific. I
think you made that up, dog.
Look, it may not have been as specific, but hey.
You made a real decision. You was like, oh, my man Blonsky trying to get some. Yeah. Nah, I don't think he was specific about that at all. But all right. You heard what you wanted. Yeah, look, man, her going in, her boss is like, you gotta be She-Hulk at all times. And then her getting to the Supermax president and be like, nah, no superpower in the joint.
Nah,
you can't come in here like that.
I don't even know why.
Change into that joint at any time, dog.
That's the first thing that came to my head.
Why does it really matter?
Like they didn't put like a restraint collar to maybe suppress it or nothing on there while she's in there. You just can't come in here like that.
They ain't got that tech.
I can change it whenever I feel like, but whatever. Okay, sure. I'm a professional. I'm here to do a job. Let me do it.
The question is some kind of tech that suppresses powers going to come out of something like that?
I think so.
See, it hasn't happened yet. I mean, they have tech that does that, right? Because they had that on the folks when Kamran and all his folks got arrested.
Yeah.
We also seen it in Deadpool as well, too. In the Supermax or whatever prison type thing you want to call it for it.
Yeah,
but we'll have to discuss how canon Deadpool is.
Maybe in like the next 2 years, we'll come back on this
like I don't
and be like,
hey dog, like her trying to be funny. I guess you're gonna serve me up with some fava beans. Man, this is a prison.
No,
we don't play that. I like that moment. Her conversation with Blonsky, I think, was as surprising to us as a viewer as it was to her as a lawyer. Right? He's like, look, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? Try to kill your cousin, right? But then all of the things that he's talking about, like, as an agent for your government injected me with the super soldier serum to go after your cousin. I thought I was the hero. We've had plenty of discussions, not just on Spoiler Boys, but in talking about the MCU as a whole, about how the best villains, like no real villain ever really thinks they're evil, right? They think they're doing Thanos,
doing the right thing,
because Thanos thinks he's doing the right thing, right? Killmonger thinks he's doing the right thing. Emil Blonsky, we viewed him as the audience in that movie as, well, he's clearly the bad, because really the Hulk did nothing wrong. But again, from the side of people and this rampaging beast that's running around and could be dangerous and whatever, and this just so happens to be a test for the super soldier serum
Right.
that we've been trying to recreate ever since Steve. So him saying like, no, I thought I was the hero. Here I am locked up in your government's prison. I am a soldier from a different country that came here to help you all deal with a problem. I have all of these accolades. I've done all of these things. This veteran who's done all this stuff, and I'm here because your government injected me with something to have me go after your cousin because he was a threat. I thought I was the hero, and here I am.
I like that. I like that moment. Like she comes in, of course, it's Blonsky, so she's on edge because it's him or whatever. But once he kind of lays it out, you see her lawyer brain kind of instantly kick. It's like, hold up, wait, did it such and such? She instantly started,
going to that.
Through it and started putting the pieces of the case together and all that kind of stuff. I enjoyed that moment. Yeah,
me too. Very much so. Just. Because he starts saying stuff and she's like ready to get a little. She stepped over that line.
That one went off. It was like, oh my bad.
Yeah.
Back it up, man.
Yeah, I mean, we know in the back of our heads that when he's saying to her, like, I don't even want to be the abomination no more. I don't do that. It's not me. I don't get down like that. In the back of our heads, as all people who've seen Shang-Chi be like, Slim Mike.
I ain't buying none of this you saying.
Yeah.
He is a liar. My man's about to read these haikus. She like, I'm good. I only, he's like, I talked to Bruce. I don't know no ill will toward him or whatever. She calls Bruce like, listen, I gotta let you know what's going on. Like, oh no, we cool, man. He sent me a haiku.
Yeah.
That was funny when he said that.
Hold up, dog. What you mean he sent you a haiku? Yeah, he sent me a haiku. But more importantly, my man Bruce off planet.
He going to find his son.
You coming dinner? We gonna see you soon. I'm gonna be gone for a little while.
Tell you, I was amazed. My man had that cellular service because my man he was using a regular phone, and then when it decided to go to warp, then all of a sudden lose signal. But I was like, that's a decent carrier you got there, good. So that's like 10G. Like
I don't know who that is.
Huh? You say you want to know who that is?
The carrier that he got.
Shield,
it's that Nicholas J. Fury.
It's Sword, bro. And Nick Fury be talking to people from off world all the time, dog. Y'all act like we didn't broadcast the first steps on the moon back to Earth.
But I feel like a comparison from the moon to the Earth
using
probably.
A Motorola, bro. It was a Motorola that did that. Like that's, I would think your cell service should work better up there, dog. You right next to the satellites, Slim. Better have great coverage. Yeah, listen. So much happened in this episode. This very, very short episode. I'm pretty sure we getting Planet Hulk, bro. My man is gone. And I'm not going to listen. I called it last episode. I think my man's going to be gone. She's going to be forced to have to be the Hulk because now we know why the Hulk won't be around.
I'm just hoping they don't cop this out, and it's like during these 9 episodes, whatever it is Hulk is going to go do, it's going to happen. It's going to happen off screen, and we ain't going to see it.
Nah, it'll happen off screen over the next 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's not going to be back by the end of episode 9. Like I think we're done with Bruce. I don't think we see Bruce at all anymore through the entire rest of this show.
He's gone until the Planet Hulk movie. Yeah, he's gone until then.
Yeah, or whatever they do, whether they do it as a show or however it is that they decide to do Planet Hulk, that's a wrap. Unless there's some other multiverse shenanigans that happen somewhere.
We might get a hint of it in an after credit scene somewhere down the line or something like that to let us know it's coming. But yeah, he's done for now.
We're gonna see
And the next
Eric
time we
Bana
see-
Hawk.
No, I mean it's possible. And the next time we see Bruce, bro, it's gonna be an after credit scene where he's angry and coming back.
Oh my God, yes,
Can't
please,
be controlled.
please,
Bro, if they do a World War Hulk,
please.
Ice Slim, if you think folks mess with the Hulk now,
That's gonna be.
How about this? If you think Black Bolt got embarrassed,
Fox, Scarlet,
yeah. Wait till you see what Hulk would do.
Ice Slim, that man was too strong. Yeah. Yeah, the idea of him going off somewhere and getting angry again, right, and not having control again could be real nasty, real fast.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, this was a short episode, but I feel like there's a couple of things that, again, there was a lot that happened in this. She decides she's going to take the job. She calls to say she's going to take the job. And as she decides to take the job, my man's like, oh, okay, cool. You might want to turn on the news.
Okay, go check Fox News real quick.
She turns and looks at the screen like, oh, that's not good. Like, that's not
Like, no.
leak footage of my man, the Abomination, having Fight Club. Here's what I want to know. Who leaked the footage?
What opposition? I think
What opposition?
I don't know yet because we don't know the players and the attorneys yet. We know he's going on trial to try to get parole. Whoever doesn't want him to get paroled, they leaked the footage. I think somewhere they camp or somebody they paid to have. They're starting their attack on that.
Who would want him not to have parole? Like, it's just
know.
parole. So, like,
I don't know. I don't know yet. It's whoever
Well,
he's up against.
I would say, depending on how to do it, Thunderbolt Ross, maybe somehow to keep him, I guess, like in check. And then, hey, listen, you owe me. So if you come work for me, I'll get you out. Not on parole. I'm gonna get you out. So maybe it's that group. maybe Wong did it. It's like, hey, now you can come with me all the time. Now you ain't gotta worry about keeping it hidden.
hey, how come when you reach for like
I don't.
this?
It's not
Cheetos.
This to be funny.
I'm not reaching for the Cheetos.
Now
We
that
know
raw
Wong, we
sense.
know that Wong is in the show. We know Wong is in the show. So clearly she's gonna have to talk to him. And some magic, because you can see in the footage that he's in the ring with him. So they're clearly fighting or whatever. It does make me wonder whether or not there is some sort of a spell or a version of mind control on Blonsky that Blonsky actually is not aware of.
Okay.
That has something to do with something Wong is doing. And we still need to know why Wong is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There has to be a reason why that's a thing that's happening. But it also could be that it is a form of, Blonsky can't necessarily say to her as his lawyer, I'm the Abomination, but like I've learned how to control it because nobody's believing that. So he tells her, I don't even want to be Abomination no more. I don't do that. But on the flip side of it, it could be that he's working with Wong to actually try to learn how to control it. So that he does have control over it. He is looking to find a way to master it. Think about it. Wong comes from a place where Buddhism and so forth is a way of life for them. And the first thing that Blonsky says is Namaste. The first thing he says when she walks in, right? So he is practicing.
And I've been writing haikus.
Right. He is learning to hone himself, control himself, which is the same thing that Bruce did initially when he went off and hid himself in the woods and tried it. That's what he did. He just kind of meditation, honing his, so that he could try to get control of the beast within. It's very possible that Wong is attempting to help him learn how to control the Abomination side of him. As far as the leaked footage is concerned, it could be Julie Louis-Dreyfus's character.
That's what I was gonna say earlier when Joke said Ross, because we know what happened to the actor, unfortunately. But that's what I'm thinking. In that sense, it would be her, maybe, as far as trying to do something with the Thunderbolt on the Thunderbolt side of things. Trying to.
It has seemed that she's been the one who may be trying to put something like that together.
Yeah.
She's very behind the scenes. She seems to know things that are going on that she shouldn't. We don't really know what any of her ties are, government or otherwise. We don't know who she works for, who she works with. It could be any number of things, right? But that footage obviously is footage that has to exist because they release these fights. People bet on them. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like when Shang-Chi goes there.
They was recording that stuff. I think we've seen people while we was looking at Shang-Chi.
Right.
So
the question of where did that footage come from still remains to be seen.
I feel like we got to go back.
But obviously, we're going to have a conversation with Wong because Wong is also in that footage.
Yes.
But we'll see. We'll have to see what she does, what her approach is.
I feel like Steven gonna have that conversation. Hold up now, Wong. You be telling me don't go out here and do some things, and I see you out here, Abomination having a fight club. Explain yourself.
I can see a jab at that in the future, like Avengers movie. So that at least I didn't have a court trial or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see him jabbing at him.
He's probably gonna tell him you should have let him use that spell to erase everybody's mind.
Yeah.
Like he used. What would have made this episode a 10?
As far as me, this episode was exactly kind of, for the most part, what I expected for the follow-up episode to be to the first one. So no super big surprises or anything like that. So that's why it stands as an 8 to me, and it's not necessarily higher. Nothing. It was what I expected, straight up, coming out
no big surprises.
It was definitely
what's going on the car?
That was
exist. No big
the
surprise.
giant guy out of the crowd.
No, nothing. No big enough of a surprise to.
No fights.
No, it had nothing to do with fights.
No action.
No, not that. Just nothing big enough happened to overtake anything I saw in the first episode. Like it was just on par with what happened in the first episode.
Okay.
We knew she was gonna have to,
I agree. I feel like this episode didn't overstay its welcome because had this have been like a solid 40-50 minutes, maybe all we did was have conversations and things through it. I feel like we probably would have felt like it got dragged out. So I think this episode accomplished what it needed to do. Give us a couple tidbits to hang on to, but I still think it is just like Sin said, I think it's on par with the first episode just for what they did. They're just not putting the complete pedal to the metal right now. So I think they slowed down, gave us some trinkets, some little few things to chew on, and now we'll start setting up and seeing other things. And of course, maybe this is why we have 9 episodes. Maybe they are trying to make sure that these episodes don't get too long, they don't overstay their welcome, or maybe just there's a few in here that are like that. And if that's the case, I'm good with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, oddly enough, I think the thing that makes this episode an 8 is how short it is. Which is strange because, like you said, Jokes, we've had complaints in the past about how some of these episodes just feel like they drag, like they just don't, like it doesn't need to be, this didn't need to be 45 minutes, this didn't need to be 50 minutes, at the same time, it went so fast. This is the thing. It was so good that it went so fast that when it was over, I was like, dang, that's it? For real? Like,
yep.
It did a better job of leaving me wanting more. And I think not that we've been spoiled, but that we've just unfortunately come to a place where we expect these episodes to be longer. And so when they're not longer, because I think when I heard 9 episodes in my head, it was like, okay, we're getting like 9 hours of She-Hulk. We're getting 45 minutes to an hour long episodes. When the reality of it is, if the episode immediately when this joint ended, I was like, dang, so are the rest of these joints really that short? So we might be getting like kind of less.
The same amount, or at least the same amount, just
spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing that really took away from it. Because otherwise, I feel like the execution of the episode is spot on. Like I have zero complaints about the episode. So it's weird to not have any complaints and still feel like it's not perfect. Right? I mean, so.
Yeah, like when I looked at saw it was 27 minutes, I'm like, hold up. So you mean, because we know it's like 10 minutes worth of credits at the end of all these Marvel joints. Like we're really
plus they do the recap in the beginning.
Yeah, so we're getting like a 20-minute episode. Like
I didn't even look at the time. It was kind of like they said, it was kind of like an anime jump. It got to a point close to the end, and I started saying like, wait, like is this joint about to end? Like it was like a quick feel, and I was like, oh no, we're about to go into the next scene. She comes up and then the joint just goes black and hits the credits. And I was like, oh, we really did that.
Yeah, it was a straight up 22-minute or a half-hour TV show episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like 22 minutes.
Which
is normal. Which is normal. It's normal.
And it wasn't bad. Like some of these 22-minute things
no, it wasn't bad
right now. Like,
yeah. All right. 8, 8, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna wrap this up. This has been your episode 2 spoiler boys for She-Hulk Attorney at Law. We'll be back on next Monday to discuss and spoil episode 3. That we're out. Toodles and loos.
Loading snacks.